Are all proteins made in heaven? In other words, are all proteins good for us? That's what we're going to be speaking about today. Hello my friends, professional fitness life coach with the Empty Your Bucket Nutrition Program. And if you are new to this channel, I want to encourage you to hit that subscribe button or hit the bell notification so that every time we release a new video, you will be the first one to know. Okay my friends, today I want to focus on three main points. Number one, what are the best animal and plant-based proteins? Point number two, the proteins that have the best absorption rates. And point number three, which ones are the best protein shakes out there? If you are new to this channel, we focus on subjects that edify the mind, the body, and the spirit from a Christian perspective. Let's go. Okay friends, so let's jump right into it. I have to say that one of the most popular questions that I get on a daily basis as a nutrition coach is, JT, how much protein should I do? And the answer to that question is tricky because it's really dependent on your level of activity or the outcome you're looking to get from consuming those proteins. In other words, if you're a bodybuilder or you're looking to add lots of muscle, you're obviously going to need a lot more protein than a sedentary person. And so instead of focusing on how much protein to have, today we're going to focus on the absorption rate and the quality of those proteins. The quality of that protein really determines if that protein gets converted to glucose or to tissue. Protein is a building block in living organisms, especially in structural organisms. And so it's either building your nails, your hair, your skin, or your muscle. Another great component about protein is that protein is very, very filling. And so if you're eating more protein than you are starchy carbohydrates, you're gonna be fuller and you're gonna get less of an insulin spike. First, we're gonna focus on animal proteins since those seem to be the most popular. Generally speaking, animal proteins are absorbed at a 30% absorption rate, as opposed to plant-based proteins, which are absorbed at a 17% absorption rate. Meaning that animal protein is more bioavailable than plant-based proteins. Okay guys, so let's look at what are the best absorbing proteins out there. The proteins that are actually gonna light your body up with everything you need. And I'm already laughing because here we go. One of the number one of best absorbing proteins out there is mother's milk. That is incredible to me that God has created things so perfect that mother's milk is one of the most complete nutrient dense things out there. 49% absorption rate in mother's milk. Of course, babies need to grow. They're in a development stage, and 49% absorption rate on mother's milk. Now, I'm not telling you to go drink mother's milk. I think that's sort of gross, even though there is a market out there for mother's milk, believe it or not. I've tried mother's milk one time, and I literally spit it out. And so, good luck trying it if that's what you want to do, but 49% absorption rate on mother's milk. Next on my list, number two is full eggs, not egg whites, full eggs. Now hear me out. When people come on our program, they're usually looking to decrease body fat percentages and lower calories because they want to get rid of some unwanted weight. And so if that's the case, what we tend to do in our reset program in our first 6 weeks is actually minimize those yolks because that's where most of the cholesterol is in the egg. That doesn't mean it's bad for you. Once again, God has packaged things in an incredible way, and eggs are that compound nutrient that already comes ready with the yolk and the egg whites. And so 48% absorption rate on full eggs. And so yes, I am saying this, if you want to have full eggs, go for it. The whole theory on cholesterol and that it's bad for you and it's going to make you sick is just exactly that. It's a theory. We've studied, we've looked at these things really, really in depth. And there's nothing wrong with full eggs. So 48% absorption rate on eggs. Go for it, do the full egg. Third on my list is red meat. Now this is a popular one. Most of you guys that like to grill, you love your steaks, you love red meat. And so 35% absorption rate on red meat. One of my favorites would be lamb. Lamb is pretty incredible, as well as sirloin steak, venison, bison, are some pretty lean proteins, and you're gonna get a 35% absorption rate from these. So lamb, sirloin, venison, bison, any of these are incredible for you. They light your body up, and you're gonna get all the nutrient density that you need. Number 4 on my list, and this is a special one, fish. has a 30% absorption rate, and even though it's lower than meat, fish has something very special to it, and fish has what we call the essential fatty acids, right? These essential fatty acids such as EPA and DHA are incredibly good for cognitive processes, for your skin. You're gonna be packed with all the energy you need for the day. And so, of course, I have my 3 favorite, the ones that I truly believe have the best fatty acids. Number 1, salmon. Number 2, mackerel. And number 3, sardines. Of course, you want to choose a fish that is low in mercury. And later this month, I'm going to be shooting another video on fish that are low in mercury and are good for you. But for now, stick to those: salmon, mackerel, and sardines. Number 5 on my list, believe it or not, is rabbit. I know, it's a cute little animal. It's beautiful. But it packs 81% of an absorption rate on rabbit. Rabbit is one of the leanest proteins you can get. The challenge with rabbit is that it only has about a 19% fat absorption in it. And so the nutrients in fat and the fat content are very, very low. And therefore, there is a phenomenon out there called rabbit starvation. I'm not sure when or where, but there are people that have been stranded in remote areas where rabbit is the only thing available, and all they've had is rabbit, and they've starved to death because, once again, rabbits have an 81% absorption rate on protein, but the fat is so low and the nutrients are so low around it that people have actually starved to death. So one of my favorite ways of using rabbit is actually having rabbit for dinner, because I like to be frugal in my calories in the evenings, and so rabbit provides exactly that. And how can I forget my vegan and vegetarian friends? Plant-based proteins are absorbed at a 17% absorption rate. And so obviously radically different from animal proteins, but you can still get some pretty clean proteins if you focus on the ones like tofu, tempeh, miso. You definitely want to stay away from soy. Soy is packed with GMOs, it's high in sugar, and it's been known to promote estrogen in your body, and you definitely don't want that. So if you can exclude soy from your diet, that would be amazing. Focus on things like tofu, tempeh, miso. You have about a 17%, like I said before, radically different from animal proteins, but this is still a clean form of protein. And this is not just for vegans and vegetarians. This is for anyone trying to mix up their proteins a little bit. And so even if you eat animal proteins and from time to time you want to mix in your tofu, your tempeh, your miso, these would be my top 3 favorite, and they absorb at a 17% absorption rate. Number 6 on this list, and of course I couldn't leave it out, is protein shakes, right? Not an animal protein, but it is a supplement. It is a popular question that I get all the time. JT, what are the best protein shakes? Are protein shakes good for you? Well, I'm a big fan of protein shakes for one reason. Number 1, the absorption rate is pretty low. It's 17%, but protein shakes are very bioavailable to our bodies, because when you are getting ready to go for a workout, or you're recovering from a workout, a protein shake is a great thing to do. It brings nutrients right into your system. It does exactly what it needs to do. And because it's a liquid, it's easily digested. You don't have to deploy a lot of enzymes, and therefore you're not consuming a lot of energy. And it's just a quick way to bring nutrients to your body before a workout or after a workout. But it's not something that I would lean on forever or every single day, right? I know people that basically live on proteins, and I'm not a big fan of this because the absorption rate and the ratios are very, very low, and they're kind of off, and it's not something that you want to depend on all the time. And so then the question becomes, what's the best protein shake? I'm a big fan of whey isolate, okay? Whey isolate packs lots of great nutrients in there. You want to look for a protein shake that has about 130 calories, no more than 130 calories, no more than 12 grams of carbohydrates, no more than 4 grams of fat, and no more than 4 grams of sugar. If you can get close to that or exactly get those ratios, then you're on the right track, and a protein shake is a great way to supplement your meals. Okay, friends, I hope you enjoyed that review of the best proteins to eat. And honestly, this shouldn't be one versus the other. Genesis chapter 9, verse 3 says, "Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. And as I gave you the green, I gave you everything." This is a command from the Lord saying that basically everything is good. We just know that there are some things that can be better for us depending on the outcomes that we want. And that's exactly what this video was intended to do. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are new to our channel, would you consider subscribing or hitting that little bell notification so that every time we release a new video, you will be the first one to know. I'll talk to you guys soon. JT Tapias, professional fitness life coach, and we spoke today about the best proteins to eat.